Hello mga ka-adventurers! This afternoon we were going to share about education. We have felt the struggles and the challenges of our dear students, so that is why we decided to share something about their module. So if may mga estudyante po tayong in a senior high, specifically in K11, this could be of beneficial to them. Okay, so we're going to share with you the media and the information literacy. It's in quarter 1, module 5. It's all about the codes, conventions, and the language of media. We are all into social medias, or we are all in the medias, okay? Most of us have a Facebook account, messengers, some are having a YouTube channel, so we engage ourselves in social medias. So it's very important to know something about it, okay? Para hindi tayo maging illiterate kung ano yan. So sa mga viewers natin ngayon, this is very important also, not only to our students, but also to all of us, so that we will have an education and knowledge about social media or medias. So we will learn today the codes, conventions, and the language of media. So pag may makita tayong ganito, anong unang mapapasok sa isip natin? It's Facebook, okay? Because the language of media uses symbols, not only symbols, technical codes, and also madidiscuss natin yan later on. So language pertains to technical and symbolic ingredients of codes and conventions that media and information professional may select and use in an effort to communicate ideas, information, and knowledge. So anything about that convey information, that's all about language. For example, no, sa mga traffic lights, the color coding, when it red, so everybody stops, or yung mga sasakyan, mag-stop siya kung nandun yung nakatama yung red sa kanila. But when the green turns on, so it's time to go. So yan po ang language. It can be technical or symbolic po. Anything na nagko-convey or naghahatid ng mga informasyon. Media and language are the codes, conventions, formats, symbols, and narrative structures that indicate the meaning of media messages to an audience. So anything about media or language about the media, what we call that one is media language. The messages are the information sent from the source to a receiver. So the elements that help you identify what kind of movie each picture shows are the codes and conventions of media. Media codes and conventions are like the building blocks of all the media around us, which generally have an agreed meaning or connotation to their audience. So, lahat po ng media, like mga reporters, yung mga nasa nagre-relay ng information or news, yung mga directors, yung mga artists, or mga journalists, mayroon silang pina-follow na codes and conventions. So, which are agreed, okay, in the message or in the media language. So, we will learn on the 3 types of media codes. So, first is the symbolic codes. Symbolic codes are the social in nature. Such codes exist beyond the media products themselves, but can be interpreted in similar ways in the everyday life of the viewer. So, kapag may makita tayong ganito, first thing na papasok sa isip natin is Christianity or Christ. Okay? So, that's one example of symbols or symbolic codes. Under po sa symbolic code is the setting. It is the time and the place of the narrative. It can be a setting of the whole story or just a specific scene. This will create atmosphere or build a frame of mind. So, yan. Parang si Mr. Binata to eh. Mr. Bean nga. Yung setting niya is nakasakay siya ng kanya. Okay, that's under the symbolic code. The second is the mise en scene. It's a French term meaning everything within the frame. The costumes, the props are included in the analysis in the frame. So, yung mga costumes na ginamit ng mga artist or yung mga artista, mga props nila are one of the kind of symbolic codes. Yan sila. So, acting is how an actor portray a character that will lead to a character development and attention making through facial expressions, body language, and vocal qualities. So, example, the movie or the scene is all about horror movies. So, yung mga artista is makikita talaga sa facial expression nila na takot sila. That facial expression convey to the audience that that character is in fear. Okay? Just then the last one is color. It is used to connect connotation to specific scenes, characters, or object. Red, for instance, is typically seen as a color of passion, danger, romance, or violence. Green is connected with nature or sickness. Blue with calm or depression. Purple is seen to be connected with royalty. Yan. So, lahat po ng mga color coding may meaning po sa social media or sa media. Then, we proceed to the second type of codes, which is the technical codes. According to Arnel Ping, technical codes are all the ways in which equipment is used to tell a story in a media text, like camera techniques, framing, and lighting. So, anything po about technical, like yung mga may audio, lighting, camera angles, it's under technical codes. So, camera work refers to how the camera is handled, positioned, and moved from the specific effects, like a high-angle camera shot, rather to create a feeling of the power in a photograph. Yan, may mga camera techniques sila. Angle, ang galing nila. So, lighting. According to Robert Young, lighting is a manipulation of the natural or artificial lighting to selectively highlight specific elements of the scene. So, yung example, yung horror movie, may lighting or may mga thunderstorms, yung pa-on and off yung mga ilaw. So, yung mga ganyan na effects is under technical po. Audio is another type of technical code, is the expressive or naturalistic use of sounds. It includes dialogue, sound effects, and music, according to Chris. So, example, horror movies. I'm not really fan of horror movies, but we will just make it an example. Para po mas nakakatakot yung scene, may ipi-play silang music na nakakatakot, right? To convey the feeling of sa mga audience na natatakot tayo. Yung iba sumisigaw na nga sa music pa lang or sa sound effects pa lang So, the last type of codes is the written codes, are the formal written language used in the media product. These include language, style, textual layout like headlines, captions, speech bubbles. Yan. So, yung mga written codes is a formal written language used in the media products. Kailangan yung mga highlights ng example, yung news, pag manonood tayo ng news, yung balita po ng ABS-CBN at saka or GMA, is gumagamit sila ng iba't ibang designs or iba't ibang fonts, styles ng mga wordings para po ma-convey nila yung ma-emphasize nila yung gaano ka-importante yung news na yan. At saka nilalagay nila sa front page or unang balita, nagbabagang balita dahil yan po yung hottest issue. So, yun yung mga example ng written codes. So, we will now proceed to conventions. According to Robert Young, conventions are the accepted ways of social media codes. There are three types of conventions: the form conventions, story conventions, and genre conventions. Form conventions are the specific ways on how media codes are arranged. Example, newspaper, for example, the most important news will be in the front page, while the sport news is found at the back page. Yun yung sinabi ko sa kanina. Na lahat ng mga directors, mga journalist, or mga newscaster, nagpa-follow yan sila ng mga form conventions. Na dapat yung mga hot issues ay nasa harapan or pinakaunang ibabalita nila, habang yung mga nasa last page na is hindi na masyadong hot seat na mga topics. Second is the story conventions are commonly narrative structures and understanding in a storytelling media products like cause and effect, character construction, and the point of view. So, dapat may content yung movie, may content yung news, may content yung drama. Yun story conventions. Dapat may flow of or series of events para di ba yung iba per episode pa nga para ipa-follow talaga or sinusundan talaga ng mga audience. The last one is the genre conventions are the commonly used of tropes, characters, settings, or themes in a particular type of medium. They can be formal or thematic. So, for example, genre means types. Okay, for example, The Three Idiots is an example of a comedy genre of movie under comedy. Or yung mga movie ni Jackie Chan or mga Jet Li, yung mga actions, no? Under yun siya sa action movies. Yung mga horror naman is under horror. Or yung mga science fictions, yung mga magic na yan. So, under yan siya sa science fiction. So, that would be called genre conventions. Now, you are now familiar with the different codes and conventions used by media professionals to deliver the message that they want their audience to receive. Your understanding of technical, symbolic, and written codes will make you media and information literate. At least ngayon, alam na natin yung mga media professional na yan ay gumagamit talaga sila ng flow. Gumagamit sila ng mga coding para mas lalo nilang ma-relay o ma-present nila yung finished product nila sa audience na mas maganda. So, at least today, we learned something about media. So, thank you po sa panonood and see you in my next vlog. Okay, in my next modules. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.